Welcome to Fast Cars, Fast Girls. We are your IndyCar experience. Well, Molly, it's been a hell of a weekend. It's been a hell of a week.
It's been a hell of a month.
A hell of a month. The month of May is officially wrapped up. So we're gonna wrap it up for you guys today with the Indy 500 race report.
There's only one way to do it. Run it backwards.
I think you're correct. We actually didn't do an episode between quals and the race, but Molly did write an excellent blog on it, which of course you can find on our website. I know it's a little early for that, but I just don't want to forget because the 500 weekend has a lot to talk about. So make sure you check us out on our website, fastcarsfastgirls.com, and read Molly's blog. She also wrote a great review of the 500. What we all deserve, or what we deserve.
We deserved it. We deserved this race.
We deserve it. There we go, yeah. Because you know what? We did. We did. So I will say outside of the race, before we run it back to front, what was your favorite thing?
I was going to wait to do that at the end after we run the back.
You want to do it at the end? Okay, we'll do it at the end.
Yeah, kind of
All
more
right.
like, here's the drivers and then everything else that we need to talk about type deal.
That'll work. You guys can tell that we really discuss this a lot before we record.
All the time. Consummate professionals.
Consummate professionals all the time. All right, back to front. Starting in 28th, which I thought he would qualify better, finishing in 33rd, unfortunately.
Thought he would finish better.
Heartbreaker.
Heartbreaker.
I believe it's is that his first DNF at the 500?
It might be.
It's either the first or maybe the second. Maybe there's one I'm not remembering, but it is unusual for Stefan to not bring the car home in a decent position in the race.
He was just unfortunately the first victim to the pit lane entrance / brake issue that, only three drivers had were victims of it, but other drivers had brake issues too. So sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It does suck trying to get that speed down, and it just locked up those back brakes.
And the brakes, because I think Ryan Hunter-Ray talked about it, a few others, they were slamming brakes and they just weren't working well. So that's interesting.
No, and so and in Stefan's post crash interview, he said that he was pumping them, trying to warm them up and get them to work, and then they locked up.
Happened to a few of them.
Say probably most of our audience, our younger audience, doesn't remember cars that did not have an anti-lock brake system. But some of our older audience will. So,
yes.
how we all used to have to actually brake in really old cars.
There you go.
So, but he said he was devastated, and I felt that in my soul.
Yeah, it was just a moment when that happened. Not a good moment.
It was, because you just hate to see that for Stefan.
You do.
Love
you
the
really
guy.
do. Yeah.
You really do.
Okay.
Which, let's see, was that? No. So he only finished 32 laps of the race. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And then next up, starting 18th, finishing 32nd. I also thought that he would do better in qualifying, but I didn't think it was too big of a deal because they seemed pretty trimmed out, for the race trim throughout leading up to qualifications. Graham Rahal, who stuffed it hard.
Well, yeah, because he's all right. Somebody
his tires were cold. It wasn't like he necessarily made a mistake. I didn't mean that like he made a mistake, but that was a solid hit that he took.
Well, they released him before that right tire was connected, so he lost the tire, and that kind of caused him really to hit the wall.
Yeah. There was a lot of pit lane fuckery for this race.
Yeah, and I do want to, a lot of people were like, that tire change is going to lose his job. No, it wasn't the tire change. It was whoever dropped him, because the guy who was still, that man was still trying to get that tire on when he left. And you could just see the guy no, I wasn't done. Y'all dropped. Nope, we were not done, sir. Come back.
Right? Like his arms stretched out like me for you when you fell off the golf cart.
He was
Like,
no,
no,
the tire's not on. And it was not.
No.
That tire went on a trip
It fell
and bounced
off.
And it unfortunately hit Daly's nose cone.
Yep. I mean, and yeah, the rubber on that nose cone was nothing short of impressive.
Intense. Just intense.
And I'm glad that it landed in the grass, still in the track area, because for a minute, it looked like it was going to clear the fence. And I was like, thank God there's no GA for today. Because, I mean, if a tire hits you at a track, you're not going to survive that.
It's not a good day for you.
It's not a good day. It's not going to be your best day. Not going to be your best day. But luckily, that was not an issue. It didn't clear the fence, but it bounced like crazy. I mean, and it just nailed.
Yeah. I mean, phew.
It had some stank on it.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
Which is just unfortunate because Ray Hall, I mean, had got himself all the way to the top.
Yeah, he'd led like 8 laps.
Yeah, and
I mean, he had a
and he
good
was gonna
car
be
all month. Yeah,
he has, and he was coming out at speed to not lose a lap to the for his pit. He was going to come out in front of Palou, and which he did. And I just want to say like kudos to Palou and Castroneves, because when he bounced back into the middle of the track, their reactions were extremely quick to avoid him. And so, on the broadcast, they mentioned that a crash like that is what happened to Alex Zanardi, only then he got hit.
T-boned. Yeah.
He got T-boned. And it's like some of those moments where you're like, oh, I'm really, really glad that we have a very talented paddock that can that can react that quickly and avoid that from being just a shitty day to a really horrible day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, and I'm not always the biggest Graham fan, but I did feel like he might have a little luck this year, and so it hurt a little bit for me.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks because they had a good car.
They did. They had a really good car. Another heartbreaker.
Yeah, the whole a lot of heartbreak.
A lot of heartbreak. Started in 33rd, finished 31st. Simona De Silvestro.
Second victim to the brakes.
Second victim to the brakes. They worked so hard all month. They made it to bump day. They got in the
survived.
show. They survived bump day, and then just the brake issue. Locked up, crashed it on pit lane.
Just gosh in heaven.
Ugh.
And continuing the streaks of bad luck, Will Power started 32nd, ended 30th. Shit, Will, I don't know who he done pissed off, but he had bad luck all over the place. Like, his car didn't even start originally.
Yeah, he wasn't even on some of the parade laps. Yeah.
I mean, then he got better because he was up like 6 laps. He was up 7 spots by lap 6. Whew. But he became a brake victim. Again, just cooked it. They just didn't work when I hit it. He also had a really weird penalty. I would just say he had that weird failure to keep pace with the pace car penalty randomly.
Yeah, and a pit speed violation as well, and it was just everything that could just a bad day altogether.
And it weirdly broke his streak of leading laps in the 500. Apparently he, until this year, had done it 8 years in a row.
Oh my gosh. You know what? That seems fitting. That he had. I did not realize that.
Yeah. But apparently, not this year.
Not anymore.
No.
Yeah. Next up, starting 10th. Finishing 29th. Alexander Rafi.
Oh, we'll talk about this.
Who wins but one award for this race, and that is the most pit stops.
it couldn't catch a break. It seems like every yellow he was like either had committed, so he had like committed to pit for Graham, and then with the first one with Stefan, like that one actually caught like half the fucking field out because I think 10 people got cited, so because they all needed fuel, which you're only allowed a splash of fuel, and then you still have to come back to get your tires changed. And his damn car wouldn't start. The car wouldn't start. They didn't get the wheel on right. Just all of the pit stops.
Well, and Dixon had an issue with his car not starting also.
Yeah, they had like weirdly the same issue, and so that's why the first yellow they were like in the back of the field together, and Rossi did the like let's go hand gesture to Scott, which I was like, I'm here for that.
Right, like he's like shake and bake, buddy. Slingshot.
Let's go.
Engaged. They totally had their own little shake and bake moment back there.
I feel like they did. At that point, though, you kind of have to.
Right. It's like when you're having just the worst day ever at work, and like you look at your coworkers and you're like, you know what? Today sucks, but at least I'm here with you, buddy. Let's do this. Right. We can get through this day.
We can get through the other 200 or however many other laps together, my man.
Oh, no, I enjoyed that. It was a good bit of camaraderie.
It was.
But yeah, no, everything that could go wrong went wrong for Rafi.
It did. And as everybody says, it's not a 500 unless he has a pit issue.
I mean, Christ on a crutch. Rob Edwards, get
it in order.
Your house in order.
Look,
get your shit together.
The toes are broke, but once the toes are healed, I'm just going to have to take somebody's place as a wheel changer. It's fine. Oh,
I thought you were going to say you're going to stick your foot up their ass.
I can do that, too. I just do need to.
I thought it was going to be once these toes are healed.
They're going up an ass.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
But,
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
You could take the place. You could take the place of a tire changer.
I can do it. I'll change tires. It's fine. It's fine.
Right? You work out. Which I do want to just revisit real quick the Simona and her pit crew. The woman on the front left, oh my God. She pulled off that tire with one arm and flung it like it was a kitten.
Oh my God. Like no longer in Marion County, okay? It was like Hamilton County or somewhere else.
Yeah, it almost had a new area code. Like one arm off, flung that shit, one arm, new one on, boom. Like
they told her, you have to make sure the tire is clear of the car. And she was like, I got that. Cool.
Not going to be a problem.
Not a problem.
Not a problem. So I just want to say shout out to her. That was the most badass thing.
It really was.
One of the most badass things I've ever seen. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Unreal. Oh, yeah. Sorry. But anyhow, back to the rest of the fields.
That's okay.
Any other thoughts on Rossi you'd like to share, or?
No, thank you.
Okay.
No.
I'm fine. Next up, starting 11th, finishing 28th at Jones.
Yeah. Poor Ed. They tried to do like a cool fuel strategy. Like if we double up on pits early, we won't have to make it. We don't have to pit late in the race. And that didn't happen. They had to pit late in the race.
They sure did.
That's gonna get you.
Yep. Yeah, it sure will.
Fine.
Sure will. Next up, starting 14th, finishing 27th. Felix Rosenquist. Mr. Rosenquist, who
he led 14 laps.
Yep. Yeah. He did have a drive-through for a pit speed violation.
Yeah, he was only like 0.5 miles per hour over it. Like, first of all.
Seriously?
Well, that's what they reported, but probably, yes. Hey, how y'all got that shit that can, well, they do, but like, really, now we're going half mileage. Like, that's where we're going to get to people. Like, I can fuck my way out of that ticket. Come on. It's the pit lane. I know it's safety, but.
I know, I get it, and you got to have the cutoff somewhere, and it's
You got to have the
60 and
cutoff
not
somewhere.
61. I get it.
Not
I've argued
60.5.
I've argued that point myself.
I know.
Like, I understand it, but it is one of those you're like, really?
Come on, buddy.
But yeah, so it was not a great day for Felix, unfortunately, but they did feature our favorite fueler.
They did. Well, I mean, he led laps.
He did lead laps, and yeah, on one of the pit stops, like, it was just honed in on Big Sexy.
Well, there you go.
I was like, ooh, we know a famous person.
I know him.
I know him.
I got a photo with him somewhere.
Right. Many photos.
Many.
Starting 27th, really thought that he'd do better in qualifying. Ending 26th, Sebastian Bourdais.
Hey, first of all Ford cars had great pit stops, but you know
they really did actually.
They had good pit stops. We actually sat across from Bourdais and Kellett, and they were good. I was like, okay.
They were solid. Like, their pit crew didn't have a toe out. I mean, they were.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they were great pit stops.
They were, and I just, there were quite a few people who decided to try some like fun pit fuel math, and great. Sometimes it wins, sometimes it does not, and it did not work out with Seabass. Apparently, they did some fuel math, didn't get the number they needed.
They did not. They did not. Next up, starting 13th, finishing 25th, Pietro Fittipaldi.
Yeah. He also falls into the fuel math is hard. He pitted with 5 laps to go.
Yeah. I mean, obviously because he had no other option, but like.
Yeah. But he was the highest qualifying rookie. Not the highest finishing rookie, but he qualified highest.
That is true.
So, got that going for you, Pietro.
Yep. Next up, starting 29th, finishing 24th, who comes in second place for most pit stops with a total of 8, Max Chilton.
Plus a pit speed violation penalty.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to get you...
Yeah, on that first yellow that screwed everybody.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That, a lot of pit stops are going to get you.
Yeah. Like, I don't recall them discussing...
It's weird that he was the only one in that, like, massive pit stop. Like, everybody else got emergency service. He just got pit speed lane violation. Right?
I wonder if maybe he felt like he was going to lose it when he was trying to brake, and so
he might have.
Like,
he
was probably just like.
That's not, unheard of given what else, everybody else had those issues. So. Right?
It's like, okay, if everybody, like, if service in a closed pit, emergency service in a closed pit is a restart at the back of the field, and pit speed violation is a restart at the back of the field, and my choices are pit speed violation or I'm going to fucking stop it, I'm going to violate the speed limit.
I'm going to violate the speed limit. Like, yeah, okay.
And honestly, knowing Max and how calculated he is, like, he is I feel like he's, like Rafi, one of those cerebral drivers. I bet that's probably what it was, is that he tapped the brakes and he was like, I'm about to lose it. And was like, fuck it, I'll take the penalty.
Yeah, he's like, so I'm not stopping.
Like, nope, I'm just going to drive a little too fast. Like, I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on getting down to speed.
Yep.
But you know what? He did move up some spots. And with that many stops and still finishing 24th, like, rock on, man.
Yeah.
Rock on. Because that's not easy to do with 8 stops.
No.
Next up, starting 30th, finishing 23rd, Dalton Kellett. Again, I mean, same as Max, like, some of those through attrition, but also, like, their stops were clean. They were fast.
Their stops were clean. He didn't He didn't get out. You know what? We count that as a win in the Dalton Kellett book.
We sure do. We sure do. So good on you, Dalton Kellett. Oh, yeah. Sad day for Captain America.
It was a
start at 7th. Started 7th. Finished 22nd.
But he was the last driver on the lead lap, so I guess there's that. Kind of. If that's any sort of help.
Consolation.
Yeah, maybe that. Nope, pit speed violation, and he also was one that was like, yeah, my brake pedals were not responding, so boy, I hope they get that figured out. Because like this was not like there were a lot of cars that this happened to. Some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the speed that'll get you; it's the stopping.
It's the brake pedals, apparently.
Yeah. Hey guys, my brakes aren't working. Think we can figure that out? That'd be great.
The brake pedals aren't working. It's kind of important, I guess. Well, actually, it depends. That actually was not
an
working
emergency.
on one of.
Right. I don't want to cause us unnecessary urgency, but when you guys get a chance, if you could maybe, I don't know, work out this brainstorm around this brake issue when you get time, that'd be great.
Think about it as a team.
Let me know what you come up with.
I'll be in the car waiting.
You know where I'll be. Oh. And starting 16th, but finishing 21st, James Hinchcliffe.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened with him either. He didn't have any penalties.
There was no kerflufflery going on.
I wonder if he just kept getting caught in traffic.
I mean, honestly, for this one, I would not be surprised if that was what happened.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not sure why he lost the 5 laps. I felt like his car was better than that. But you know what? I wasn't driving it.
So who knows?
Yeah. Next up, starting 17th and finishing 20th, Scott Mclaughlin.
The 500 Rookie of the Year. Yay. That's it.
That's just because he finished higher than Pietro.
I mean, that's really how they figure out who the Rookie of the Year is most years.
Unless
you're
like
Fernando.
Stand out, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But for the most part, it's like who finishes. But yeah, so did that. He was in the top 10 at parts.
He was. He actually did have a pretty decent race.
Well, he's another one of the brakes weren't working because he got a pit speed violation because he really lost control of that car.
Yeah.
And like he wrote up a little something and he was like, his eyes, he goes, nobody could see my eyes, but they were probably the whitest they could have been as he was trying to like not hit anybody as he lost control of the car in pit lane. So, you know, you got to give him points for not hitting anyone and like keeping the car under him.
And literally, like, not just not hitting another vehicle, but not hitting a person. Like,
people,
you've got to be, like, literal
the whole
people. Because the pit crews are still waiting on their drivers to come in, and they're standing out there right on the border of the 2 lanes.
All the officials that are out there, like, oh, my.
Yeah. So, I can't even imagine being a pit crew person and like, your car comes in, and your back is turned to the fuckery that you know is happening.
The whole thing.
Yeah. Ooh. Nerve-wracking. Yeah. I would think. But yeah, so he did win Rookie of the Year for the 500. So congratulations, Scotty.
There you go, Scotty.
Scotty Mac.
I was like, we have too many Scots. It's Scotty Mac.
Scotty Mac. Scotty D, Scotty Mac.
There you go. Now we got multiple Scots.
We got both kinds. Next up, starting 25th, finishing 19th, Marco Andretti. So not a great qualifying, which especially following up getting the pole the year before.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he did gain some spots.
yeah, he just didn't have the car, though. It was too trimmed. And then later in the race, they developed a vibration. And so at that point, you're like, well, okay.
That's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there was one time on the radio where, wasn't it him who, oh, maybe it was another driver. I can't remember. I should have written it down. But there was one of the drivers, the team was like, how's it driving? And they were like, it's driving horrible.
Yeah, it might have been, especially if they didn't,
I think it was
too trimmed and a vibration. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Marco who was like, it's horrible. It's horrible. So, yeah, just trying to keep it on the track at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, starting 20th, finishing 18th, Jack Harvey.
Hey, who actually at one point in the beginning he was the biggest mover, and that's going up against Will Powers like 7 spots. So.
Right. This was a race where there was so much action everywhere.
Yes.
Like, no matter what cars were in front of us, it wasn't like, the mid to backfield were just kind of hanging out and, doing a Sunday parade.
Yeah.
No, like everybody was driving like the next position was first place. And
I mean, it was fantastic.
It really was. It really was. It was beautiful to see. This was a great race.
It was such a great race.
Oh,
such a great race.
Such a great race. And next up, started on the pole position, Scotty D, finished 17th. Ouch.
Ouch. And in a weird, throwback to last year, although it didn't happen before the green flag, but he lost that lead on lap 1.
Yup.
And there was a moment where, first of all, I was like, I'm here for Colton Herta. And secondly, I was like, Scott, how does it feel? How does it feel, Scott?
Marco was in his car like, how does it fucking feel, Scott?
How does it feel, Scott?
Scotty. But yeah, I mean, we love Scott Dixon, but it was cool to see Colton pass him, before lap 1 was even complete.
Yeah.
Just because, we've known Colton for quite some time now, and it was like, yeah, I'm here for you, young Colton Herta. I'm here for you, kid.
Get it, young Colton Herta. Yeah.
Get some. Yeah, hold your own with the big boys.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, no, I was there for that. Yeah, I enjoyed that very much. And Scott gave it a hell of a go.
He did, but he, at one point they attempted to restart his car at least 13 times during one pit stop.
Oh my God. So yeah, he had the penalty for emergency service in a closed pit, which we've discussed that before, but emergency service shouldn't earn you a penalty. It's an emergency.
You're already pit, and they only allow you to pit for a splash of fuel, and that's it.
Yeah.
It feels like you're splitting hairs at that point.
It feels like you're being petty, and this is coming from somebody who resides in Pettyville.
Either let them do a full pit stop and punish them, or let them do an emergency pit stop and not punish them. One or the other, and that's it. Okay, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
I'm 100% with you.
But yeah, with that,
and
13 times, did not end well. Yeah.
No, he led 7 laps.
That's just the thing.
Scott Dixon, Scott Dixon led 7 laps only. Did not see that coming.
No, I don't think anybody did.
No, sure didn't. Same with next up, who started second and finished 16th, young Colton Herta.
Young Colton Herta again. Lap 1, he was like, I'm just gonna take the lead.
Right, and he amazingly did not get caught up in the emergency service in a closed pit.
He did not.
What we say, caught up 7 drivers?
10.
10. There we go. Yeah.
No.
But yeah, it did not catch up Colton Herta. He led 13 laps.
Yeah. He was the highest finishing Andretti.
Yep. And he was always kind of up in that mix, up in that, top 5. It felt like for most of the race. And then I just don't know what happened.
I think after his last pit stop, he just got caught. He came out right in traffic, and sometimes you just can't get it back.
Yeah, sometimes you just can't get around that many people because it's an oval.
Everybody's racing.
No, exactly. Everybody's racing for position, and it's the Indy 500. Like, if you're going to go balls to the wall at any race, it's this race.
Yep.
I mean, it's like our Super Bowl.
It is our Super Bowl. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I really thought he'd do better.
Yeah, I know.
I lost the bet on race weekend due to that. It's all right.
Yeah.
The money came out even from the bet from Qualls.
That's all that matters.
Up, that is all that matters, right? I didn't actually lose anybody. Starting 22nd, but finishing 15th, we might call him, or you might know him as IndyCar Jesus.
Yes.
J.R. Hildebrand.
Highest finishing Voight car. Okay.
Yep.
Highest finishing Voight car. Which I'm like, does that mean that he's coming back? Can we get him back? Also, apparently both AJ and Tony Stewart were in his pit box the whole race, and that's just the type of pressure I can't even begin to imagine.
Wow.
Like Smoke and Voight are in your pit box? No, thank you. No.
I'm pretty sure that's your dad's version of heaven, though.
It might be. I don't know how he feels about Smoke. He's probably cool with Smoke.
I mean, I feel like he would at least respect Smoke's funkiness.
He would, yes.
Yeah. But yeah. Fuck yeah. You know what? If like the add-on Voight driver gets to have AJ in their booth, how do I apply?
Yeah, usually he's in like Kellett. But because they were running the special livery this year. I think that's part of it.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And he got to run the number 1 but yeah. But you know what? Yeah. Good for Hildebrand. Moved up 7 spots.
Yeah. Again. High finishing Voight car.
And again, his pits were legit.
Yeah. All Voight pits were legit.
Yeah, I mean, he even had 7 pit stops. The next highest finisher with 7 pit stops finished in 10th. So, that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Next up, starting 15th, finishing 14th, to Kumasato, the 2020 winner.
Which, I mean, he was leading, and he was up and running in like 6th or 7th for a lot of the race, but he had to pit at lap 193.
Yeah, with a lot of people. That down to the wire pit stop just shook up the whole field. Yeah. Yeah, it really did. Yeah. It really did. It was quite the nail biter at the end, really.
It really was.
Yeah. I will say somebody had suggested this, I think, on Twitter, and I don't recall who suggested it, so I apologize. I'm not going to take credit for it. But they had said that, it would have been cool. It was pre-500, and so I thought they might do something, but they didn't. But like at the end of this race, if Sato would have gotten to do like a drive around since there were actually fans there, it's like it would make more sense to be. I thought they were going to as well. And it would make more sense to like do the beginning, but also that screws him because that's another lap of fuel that nobody else is doing.
Well, maybe they could have thrown him in like a pace car or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like during the pre-race even.
To be fair, but yeah, during the pre-race, just to be like, 2020's Indy 500 winner, like they should have thrown him in a convertible with some of the Indy 500 princesses. And yeah, because he deserved a big round of applause from the audience. He was kind of robbed of that last year.
A little bit.
So I will. Yeah, I felt like he deserved that. I thought we should have done just a little more for Sato.
I really thought that's what they were doing. So who knows?
Saying that, I didn't think about it on the day. It was afterwards. I was like, you know what? We never did shit for Sato.
Hey, wait a minute.
So So poor guy. Congrats, Sato. Shi.
Yeah. Oh, this next one's the most heartbreaking. It really feels like it.
Oh, started in 19th, led the most laps of any driver in the race, and was his first time to lead laps at the Indy 500. Yes. He led, what did you say, 40 laps?
40 laps.
Oh, finished 13th. Was on a 5 pit stop strategy. Oh, hometown hero. Who's your favorite?
Hometown hero.
Connor Daly.
Connor Daly. Which, when he took the lead, and if you guys have not watched, like, the broadcast or even the clip of it, like, you can viscerally hear it. Like, being there, you could feel it when the crowd, because we all just lost our shit. But, like, even watching it, you can feel it. And, like, it's insane. Because, like, people are cheering. He passes and, like, you can't hear anything for a minute.
No, I have goosebumps right now just thinking about it again. I mean,
so
it literally, it reminded me of the way people lost their shit Danica's rookie year when she was the first female to lead laps in the 500, like when she took the lead, and, you know, or like when TK won, like it was that level. Yeah, that level of just pure raw emotion and just everybody in that place being about that moment. And
it was great. And then he got tagged by Graham's tire.
It was great. Oh, then he got tagged by Graham's tire.
That's just, you know, that's really gonna ruin your race.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. I mean, he was doing a hell of a drive because when he was in the lead, his car, that first time he got in the lead and held it for like 20, 21 laps or whatever, his car was not set up to run in clean air. And so he was doing a lot of adjustments in the car and was, doing all kinds of strategery in his head to keep that car out in front, which I think is a testament to the Ed Carpenter racing team and to Connor Daly as driver.
Yes, and the Connor Daly team.
And the Connor Daly team. Yeah.
And the Connor Daly team.
But yeah. And just Connor Daly as a driver. I mean, like, it was not easy to get out and lead that many laps, clearly. I mean, he led 40, Scott Dixon led 7.
Yeah, just keep that in the back of your mind. Okay.
Right? Oh. Which, funny enough, Daly and Sato finished together, and we'll chat more about off-track activities, but those happen to be the two drivers that drove by my mom's house for the reverse parade.
Too funny.
Oh. They both moved up in position. So, again, we're good luck. You all should want to come on our show. Starting 21st, which was disappointing to me and Roger Penske, but especially to Juliana and Ray. Finishing 12th. Finishing 12th. Joseph Newgarden.
Hey, he made up spots. I mean, it's okay. It's not a contract year for him.
It's true. It's true. So, I mean, he had a decent race. He had a clean race, 5 stops. Like, he just went out there, did his thing.
500. Never put money on Joseph.
No, never put money on Joseph. But I will say I wouldn't qualify his performance this year as shitting the bed.
No, he did not. He just didn't win. So.
Yeah, but yeah, he has a tendency to shit the bed at the 500. But he didn't shit the bed. He just.
I mean, he did.
He just had a nice solid race. Oh, he shit the bed at quals super hard.
Yeah.
Just can't make it through May without shitting the bed. Oh, you shit the money bed.
Shit the money bed. Oh, Joseph.
Starting in 9th, finishing in 11th, Marcus Ericsson.
Lost a couple, but I think you can probably tag that to he being one of the 10 that were cited for emergency service in a closed pit. So.
Yep.
But, hey, didn't go too bad.
Did not go too bad. I mean, just shy of the top 10. So, yeah, I mean, pretty good race for Ericsson. He seems to be doing quite well at Ganassi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that seems to be a good fit for him. So I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, I am too. Good for him.
Yeah. Yep. Starting 5th, finishing 10th, which, you know what? 2 days before on carb day, Tony Kanaan did say that his car was set up to run best for a hot race day. Because at that point in time, we still thought race day was going to be hot, but Indiana weather
came to play.
Be trusted. Yep. The Indiana weather came in and was like, JK, you're all going to want sweatshirts or sweaters in the stands.
Again,
surprise.
You can't say things out loud. Indiana weather will hear it and change its plans. Okay.
I mean, Tony didn't say it's going to be hot. He just said that the way their setup was, it would run better if it was a hot race.
He wanted hot. Yeah. And so then Indiana weather was like, oh, you want a hot race? That's cute. You cannot have it.
Oh, are you telling me how to do my job now?
Oh, I don't believe I tell you how to drive a car.
Exactly. You don't tell me when to be hot and when to not. So started 5th, finished 10th, rounding out the top 10. But honestly, the fact that his car was set up for a much warmer day is awesome that he finished in the top 10. And he was the highest placing person with 7 pit stops.
Well, there you go.
So to have 7 pit stops, no. I mean, he drove the shit out of that car considering that it wasn't the right temperature for what they thought. And they had 7 pit stops. Like, yeah. And he even said it wasn't his last 500, which I love. So, I love it.
Yeah. So he coming back. Oh, I know. My sister texted me as soon as he said it. She was like, Tony said this isn't his last. I was like, whoa, calm down.
All right. But that makes me happy, though, because, he's a crowd favorite as well. How could you dislike the guy?
You can't.
And I feel like he's one of those, like at Carpenter, that he's going to drive until he wins the 500 or until he literally physically can't.
Or they put him in a home. It's one of those two.
I mean, you can get day passes from a home.
I know, but it's going to be like a lockdown home is what I'm figuring. They're like, no,
Tony,
you can't leave.
Tony,
we got a runner.
We got a runner. Tony, add me to your visitor list. I will come and break you out of the home for the day. I will deliver you right to the IMF. I will take legal and medical responsibility for you no matter what age. Your sister can drive the car.
Yeah, I mean, she's a part of this.
Oh, yeah. She has to be. Which Tony had a penalty as well.
I mean, to be fair,
in a closed set.
If you go ahead and just count Max's speeding through the pit at the same lap, a third of the field got penalized for pit stops in lap 45.
Yeah.
Yep.
They sure did. All with restarts at the back. So that's pretty impressive to make your way all the way back to the top 10. So well done. Well done, TK.
Yeah. There you go, TK.
Next done, also a hard charger who... We have been told by 40, who has spotted for him, that he doesn't give a shit about who's behind him. He just wants to know what's in front of him because he's about to pass him. Started 24th, finished 9th. Juan Pablo Montoya.
In fact, Juan was actually 8th at some point, so he really moved to the Indianapolis 100 field.
He did. It was the 105th Indianapolis 500.
500. In the year 2020, Juan. I just feel like that was not capitalized enough. Like, Aaron McLaren could have put out some shirts.
I know. I feel like they're not that kitschy, but they should be.
I'd have bought the shit out of some 2020 Juan shirts. Dang it.
Yeah.
It's fine. Anyway.
Yeah.
Juan really was
100%. He really was.
I just want him back next year. I just like Juan. Juan just wants to drive the car. Why are you not like Juan?
Juan is very nice. Juan just wants to drive.
So bad. Juan is not so bad.
Juan has been telling the watchers this for years. Juan just wants to drive.
Juan just wants to drive.
And see, we let him drive, and he finished. He didn't even qualify well, but finished in the top 9.
Yeah.
I mean, no.
Juan just wants to drive, and Juan will make it through traffic. It's fine.
It's true. We've seen him do it many times at the Rolex.
Many times.
Many. Starting third, led some laps, finished eighth, Rinus VK.
Led 32
And when
laps.
I say led some laps, he led the third most laps. He led 32 laps.
I mean, come on, kid, come on.
Get some.
He took the lead like lap 2. So like Colton took lap 1, and then Rinus was like, "That's adorable." Young Colton heard of it. Let me show you how my imaginary money car can drive.
All money is imaginary money. It only has value because we believe it does.
We believe in it. Yep.
Oh. If you missed our TED Talks on economics this weekend, that was the gist of it. All money is imaginary money.
Count yourself lucky.
I enjoyed that conversation every time it came up.
Every time. No, it was funny.
Every time.
Yeah.
It's still funny.
Yeah, I really hope that livery makes like a comeback at a later race, because I need to do those jokes again.
Amen. Yeah. No, I hope that they're sponsoring more races, because I can't stop. I can't stop.
I was right. Sorry, they just put out the IMS announcement. 100%
yeah,
right.
I mean, obviously we're recording during the announcement, so it was super important.
Big Machine Vodka Spiked Coolers are the title sponsor of the road race. But they don't have one that's a Bloody Mary. So
what?
I looked. No, I looked.
What are the options?
It's like one's a lemonade, one's a punch, and then one is something a little more random. But
is there not even a mule option?
No, because these are like juice thingies. They're like juice box things.
They're going to be that sugary shit that like curdles your stomach.
Okay. Tropical lemonade and cranberry. Yeah, so you're going to vomit if you drink those because it's too much sugar. Especially in the heat.
College. So they come in college jungle juice and basic white bitch.
Yeah, and lemonade.
Okay, and lemonade.
Be careful. You know how I feel
cranberry.
About lemonade.
I mean, they are pretty solid. Which, shout out to Mike Knapp for bringing and then bartending the vodka lemonades this year at the 500. Much appreciated.
Yeah. Much appreciated.
So shout out to Mike and his son Kev, and Kevin, I don't remember your friend's name, but shout out to him too.
Yes.
Thanks for coming though. We're glad you had a good time.
Yep. Anyway, back to the imaginary money car.
Back to the imaginary money car.
You know, he really tried.
All money's imaginary money.
All money's imaginary. The last 10 laps, he actually gained 6 positions. So, like, all of a sudden, he was like, "It's not over until it's over," and then it was over. But good for him.
But he did gain some positions. So good for him. And
good.
I mean, and he had a hell of a race. It was
great
just kind of pit cycling and things that kind of worked out. But no, he had a hell of a great race.
Yeah, I did. All right.
Next up, literally could not be more excited about this one.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh my God, yes. Started 31st, best finishing position in the 500 in his career, Sage Karem with Dreyer and Reinbold Racing. Like,
I mean, he even led laps.
Go.
Like, you want to talk about hard charging. You come from the back row to lead lap. Like, bro, let's go.
He was on the guillotine on bump day. Like, he almost didn't make the race. And then finishes in the top 10. And led 2 laps.
Led laps. Oh. Come on.
That's the beauty of this race. Like, you just never know what's going to happen.
You never know. You never know. And good for him, because it was a hard race for him. And, like, he put it out there. Race. I don't think he left anything on the track.
He didn't leave a damn thing on the track.
Yeah.
No, I would 100% agree. He did not leave a damn thing on the track.
Yeah.
And I just love the Dreyer and Reinbold Racing team, period. They're local. and they've been sponsoring Sage for having him as their driver for quite a few years now, and I love it. And I told him that when I stopped by on pit lane one of the practice days, I was just like, I love you guys. I love that you're with Sage because he's just such a great guy. And
like
for a small team that just does, they've stuck with him. And for a small team that basically just does one race a year, like, fuck yeah. You started in the back and finished in the top 10.
Like, they want to do more, which is awesome. Like, come on, let's do another race with you guys. What y'all doing in August?
I bet they do. I bet they do Gateway.
Yeah.
I would put, you know what? I'll put $5 right now that they're going to do Gateway.
There's a few names being floated for Gateway already. That's pretty exciting. So let's go.
It is super exciting. Like, I love that the 500 got people amped about some ovals.
Yeah. Thank you. So.
Yeah, and especially Gateway because let me just be
everybody
clear.
In Indiana.
They have their shit on lock.
It took them a couple of years, but now they got it on lock.
They got it on lock. I mean, the product on the track has always been beautiful. The fan experience, they didn't expect it to be quite as big some of the years and didn't necessarily have enough food. But you know what? That's a great problem to have, actually, that more people showed up than you expected. From a promoter's point of view. From a fan point of view, we understand if you went there and you were frustrated. But they have learned, and we'll just say from experience, get your food early. Because, you know, they don't want to overbook. And so, by about halfway through the race, it's pretty dicey on who still has food. The same could be said for this year's 500.
Yes.
Just going to say that. But yeah, if you've never been to Gateway, like, get to Gateway because it is a hell of an experience.
Really was.
12 out of 10 do not recommend camping.
No.
But yeah, I fully expect to see Karem at Gateway. And I expect him to do well.
Yeah.
But yeah, literally couldn't be more excited for him. I love him. I almost felt like texting Jody and being like, are you losing your shit right now?
Yeah, like, bro, how are you doing?
Right? Oh. Next up, another hard charger, starting 23rd, finishing 6th, Santino Ferrucci. He did not cut any grass this year.
He did not. He had the fastest lap. He was the fastest lap of the race. There you go. Highest finishing Ray Hall car. Like, all right. He decided to do the NASCAR thing. I was not cool with that, but then he came back and he's like, but I can still IndyCar. So okay, good.
Right, like get some. He wanted to check out some of the things, stretch his legs, but came back and let everybody know that he wasn't sleeping on IndyCar at all.
Mhm. He did not.
So he did not. I like that. I like to see that. And you know what? He's always so nice to us when we see him.
I know, he's very nice to us.
He really is. I know there's controversy around him, and again, I'm not gonna.
We don't have time for that.
Anybody. We don't have time for all that business. But I will say, and I'm not gonna excuse anything from the past, but our personal experiences, he has been nothing but considerate, respectful, and friendly. Honest to God.
Yeah. Like every time he's like, "Oh hey, how are?" Like you just chat with him. So I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah. I think deep down he's a good guy. So I like to see him do well.
Yeah.
Ed Carpenter is up next. He only lost one spot. Started 4th, finished 5th.
He came back from a stalled engine.
Yeah, he did. And let me just say, starting 4th, if you're not on pole, that's where you want to be because you're inside of the second row.
Yeah, you are.
So, yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are. I don't know what I say. Yeah, you are.
Right. I don't know. But yeah, came back from a stalled engine issue and still placed on the top 5. He defended.
Yeah, keep going.
I was just saying he defended every inch of the track that he owned.
Oh, yeah. And, I was just saying, you wouldn't have guessed it from, mid-race, but he was the highest finishing ECR car. Because, Reeves and Connor were, up front. And then, at the end of the day, Daddy's the highest finishing ECR car.
Yep. He was like, that's cute, kids, but who's got the longevity?
Aw, that's adorable. Aw, children, daddy's home.
Daddy's home. Quiet, kids. Adults are working.
Adults are working.
Adults are working. It's art, girl. That was a shout out. That was a shout out to you, Bob's Burgers fans. Next up, made some good moves.
Made some great moves.
And led some laps. Led 17 laps.
Yeah,
mind you. Pato Award started 12th, finished 4th.
And like he was towards the end, there was a really great lead change off between he and Pelot and Castro Neves, and like the crowd had gotten hyped at that point that like the winner, like we have a winner, but I think any three of those would have won, and the crowd probably would have still lost its shit because like every lead change, the crowd was like, yeah, and like the same people were cheering for every lead change because boy, we love a good lead change.
We love a good lead change, and because it was just so exciting, like
you were on
the end of the
last laps.
I mean, so like at lap 150, Award had the lead, and then Sato took it at 151, then at 157. I mean, the last 50 laps could have all been on your feet. Yeah, and then 151, Sato, 157, Rosenquist, 158, Dixon, 162, Pelot, 169, Castro Neves, 172, Pelot, 173, Pagano, 176.
Do not go through all of them.
I'm just, no, I'm not. I'm stopping right there. That was all I was going to do, but it was just like, that literally was where I was going to stop. But it's like every few laps, and we'd be like, oh, and we'd all be on our feet again. And then like we'd barely sit down, and there'd be another great pass, and we'd all be on our feet again.
Because like as soon as it's a lead change, like you and I are the same. Like if somebody changes leads, like I'm up. Like you jump.
We were
lead,
standing.
go.
We were on our seats, standing on our seats so that we could see just a little bit further. Just a little further down the track, and it was just beautiful. So, Award had a fabulous race.
He did.
He really did. He really did. And now to round out our podium, another hard charger who, I'll tell you what, if this race was 520 miles and not 500, he might have won it this year.
He might have won it.
He might have. Starting 26th, finishing 3rd. Of course, my favorite, Simon Pagano.
I mean, highest finishing Penske. Contract year for him.
Highest finishing Penske.
Always performs. The 500 is magic for him when it's a contract year.
That is the truth. Well, and like 40 said, he really is like one on, one off, one on, one off.
Yep.
I mean, I get it. When I play euchre, you're my partner many times. You know that I need a warm-up round. You gotta just get in the groove. Like, we'll probably lose the first round. But when we're playing best out of 3, we're taking the next 2.
Right? Like that, we're gonna give you a round just so we're nice.
Right? Like I just gotta get my feet wet. Gotta stretch out a little bit, get back into the groove. And
exactly.
He's in the groove. He's in the groove this year. And finished 3rd with 6 pit stops, mind you.
Yeah. Never count out Simon Pagano. Never
ever.
Count out Simon.
I lost my shit when he was leading, and then when it was, super close to the end. And honestly, Award gave him a hell of a fight, but Simon just outdrove him. Yeah,
there's no other way to say it but that.
Nope, he did. He just outdrove him right there at the end, and that is not a slight to Award in the league because he's a hell of a driver. No, like it was, which, quick sidebar as we, think about the cars and the Hondas versus the Chevys. At one point in the broadcast during the rewatch, they talked about how the Hondas were getting better gas mileage, and I laughed, and I was like, obviously, that's why Molly and I both own Hondas.
Duh. Tell me something I don't know.
Hondas always get better gas mileage than Chevys. That's why I drive an Odyssey and not a Chevy van.
That's why we drive Hondas. They get better gas mileage.
Yeah.
Also,
it made me laugh. I was like, no, the Hondas get better gas mileage. I'm like, tell me something else I don't know, Captain Obvious.
Hey, the Prius is silent if he keeps it under 5 miles an hour.
Oh.
So anyway.
Starting 6th, finishing 7th, Alex Palou.
Hey,
who led the
what?
second most laps, 35 laps. Go ahead.
Led 35 laps, had the fastest leader lap. He came in second, but like, this is not a race that he should be ashamed of coming in second. No. Like, sometimes you're like, that second place really hurts. Like, this is one of those where if I were him, I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, I came in second, but that was a hell of a race.
Oh my gosh. Like,
hell of a race.
The very end of it with him and Castroneves trading back for like the last 5 or 6 laps. I mean, I honestly was not sure who was going to win until like we saw, I mean, even when we saw the white flag, I was like, maybe Palou's going to make another go at it. It was just nail biting. He was 49 100ths of a second slower.
Yeah.
It just,
I mean, I know
just under half a second.
Yeah. And we say this all the time. That's okay. I'm just saying, it just proves what we say is that at the end of the day, the track's going to determine who wins. And it was really close for Palou, but the track was like, you know what, maybe next year. Not this year, though. This year is special for us.
This year is not for you. This year is for the fans. I honestly, and I'll tell you what, the battle between Palou and Pagano, because Palou's trying to pass Elio and Pagano's trying to pass Palou. And I mean, by the time, you know, we're the very last lap and Aaron Likens has the checker flags ready.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who was going to come in second or third because the race then became between Palou and Pagano. Like once Palou realized he wasn't going to be able to pass Elio, it was between the two of them. And like that was so tight. It was unreal.
Yeah.
And again, just pure excitement from the crowd. I mean, I feel like even if it had been a shitty race, we would have all been excited to just be there. But it was just the cherry on top that it was a great race. It was just perfection. And so we got to be there to witness, starting in 8th. He has only missed the Fast 9 1 year. And this was not the year that he missed it. He started in 8th.
No.
He's done it 3 other times. This year was the 4th time he is part of a very elite group of drivers who have now won the Indianapolis 500 4 times.
There are
Elio Castroneves.
Woo! Woo! Which, I mean, it was a great race. He drove a great race. I think the irony is not lost on anyone that this is his 4th win, but he won it not with Penske, but with Meyershank Racing. Shout out, Meyershank Racing.
Shout out, Meyershank Racing.
And if you weren't there, there's really no way to describe how the crowd was. Like there was what happened when Connor led laps, and then there's the crowd when Elio won. And
I mean, granted, every year of the 500, you watch history get made. Okay, like I get that.
Yeah,
but
this was
the 4th 4-time winner,
and Elio, by the way.
And Elio, who climbs the fence. Mike Shank climbs the fence because it's Mike Shank, and he's the coolest team owner around.
Elio just starts running down, hugging anybody. At one point, he was hugging anybody, like close
and
to
everybody.
Yeah,
anybody that was around him was getting a hug. Fans climbed the fence on the other side. I mean, everybody thought they were a spider monkey. The crowd was wild. I have never seen so many people still in the stands for like the winner's circle celebration. The car was in the winner's circle a solid 5 minutes before Elio was. Like, he got out of the car and then was just running everywhere. Like, I mean, we got a runner.
Literal definition of we got a runner.
We got a runner. He was just losing his damn mind, as was the entire stand.
God. There was a moment where I had to laugh with the poor people who were trying to, like, corral him. And I was just like, just let Elio go like a toddler. Let him tire himself out for a moment or two, everyone.
Exactly. Like, let him get his energy out. You'll be all right. Just, or like a puppy. You know what?
Yes.
They got the zoomies. Let them run around for a minute. They'll chill out in a second. Just let them get this out.
Yeah, that's it.
No, that was it was just awesome. I get to say that I have been present for all 4 of Elio's wins, and I'm super excited to be able to say that. And yeah, it was just, I mean, after what is arguably collectively the shittiest year of our lives.
Yes.
To be able to see history made in that way was just fucking awesome.
Just fucking awesome. I mean, big congrats to Elio. Big. I mean, also, it was the first win for Meyer-Shank Racing, both in just IndyCar in general and the 500.
Which, you know what, we have known for a while that Meyer-Shank is a powerhouse team.
Yeah, don't sleep on Meyer-Shank. Don't sleep on that team.
Do not sleep on that team, okay? Just because Mike Shank drinks Busch Light doesn't mean that he doesn't drink his coffee before he comes in to strategize, okay? Like, that team knows how they work hard and they play hard.
There's a photo. There's a, well, not of the Busch Light, but like of Mike right when Elio is like crossing, and like his foot is on like one side of the track and his other foot is on the other side, and it's an amazing photo. Just like the man's getting like the stretch in because he's that damn excited.
Oh, I love it. Oh,
yeah,
so exciting, so great for that team.
Such a great race.
Oh, so great for Elio. And I mean, I guess if you don't like Elio,
well, okay.
All I have to say is, okay, everybody's entitled to their opinion. However,
that's fine.
You were still present for a 4-time winner. And no, I will not accept debate about the 2002 race. I'm not going to honor that with any. Nope.
Nope. Not going to happen.
But yeah, like, just unbelievable. A huge part of me, because, well, and you had tweeted about it, you know, all of the drivers that came up to say congratulations and to hug him.
Cool.
I mean, because he's, 46, I think? And, you know, he's no spring chicken by any means, and he's been in and around the series for a long, long time, and so everybody knows him, and he's certainly not an introvert.
No.
And it was just great to see, I mean, almost the entire field come up and congratulate him is what it felt like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think at the end it probably was. And, like, there's a moment where he was, like, somebody, like, titled it, like, Blessing from IndyCar Pope, but, like, literally, like, Mario had his hands on his head as, like, Elio was kneeling, and I was like, I think he did just bless him. I'm not positive, though.
I mean, he probably did.
Yeah.
Good for him.
He probably did. So,
but yeah, I mean, it's like
great.
Game respect game. You know, like, Pelot, if you're going to lose to anybody,
that's the guy.
Like,
that's the guy. This is the race.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
And the fact that there was only a half second between them tells me how good Pelot's car was and how good Pelot's period is.
I mean,
because a lot of, I'd say 2 of his wins, there was one that was under yellow, but 2 of them, the other 2, I mean, he had a giant ass lead. Like, it was not a surprise when he won because he just got out and stretched his fucking legs. But this was not one of those races. He had to fight till the end for it. And,
it was,
it was a thing of beauty.
And Pelot shouldn't be too upset because he's currently leading in the points.
Woo!
So
Doug, you ready to pay that money?
It's not Doug, it's Brian. Brian and I bet.
It's yours and
we
Brian's.
canceled out Doug's. Well, we canceled Doug's bet out.
I made a bet with Doug, and I don't even remember what it was now.
Who knows? We all make bets with Doug.
It was a $5 bet. I say it wasn't Vandy. It was a Garage Doug.
Yeah, no, that's with mine.
Yeah. I don't remember what bet I made, though. It was about to finish. I'll check him. He probably don't remember either.
Yeah, neither you probably remember it. Let's be very clear about that.
No, it was something silly, and I was like, fuck it, I'll throw $5 on that.
I'll put some cheddar on that sandwich.
Right? Hell, it probably was that Alia would or would not win.
I feel like it's going to be one of those bets. Either somebody will or will not win.
Like, it probably wasn't that. And I was like, I'll put 5 on Alia.
Sure.
Oh, but yeah, that
Great.
was just awesome. And the crowd, when it was just clear that everybody was so happy to be back, so excited.
Yes, it was just one of those races. It was what we needed after not having fans there last year. It couldn't have been better.
Yeah. After the year of the COVID fucking.
Yeah.
It was what we all needed. It was the 500 that our souls needed, really.
Yeah, it really was.
And it was really awesome this year that last year's race was in August because we just didn't have to wait as long. And there were many times that I was like, I feel like we just had the 500.
I was like, damn, is it time for the 500 again? Has it been a year? And I was like, oh, no, it hasn't been a year. My bad.
Right?
Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to be a sponsor for a race car? With Sports Entertainment Travel, now you can. SET not only provides you with a one-of-a-kind weekend VIP racetrack experience, they do it without the VIP price tag. Your one-stop shop to feeling like a VIP begins on their website, www.sportsandentertainmenttravel.com. With the purchase of one of their VIP travel packages, you will receive deluxe hotel accommodations, round-trip car service from the airport to hotel and back, and breakfast daily. But now on to the fun stuff. You will also enjoy a welcome dinner with motorsports industry experts, VIP club and hospitality access, a meet and greet photo and autograph session with owners Jimmy Vassar and James Sullivan, and with their sponsored IndyCar entrant, Ed Jones. And your very own Fast Cars, Fast Girls will be sure to make an appearance at least once during your weekend. Your weekend will also be staffed with travel hosts to attend to any needs that may arise throughout your weekend. But don't worry, they will all have extensive motorsports experience as well. Pit and paddock tours and access where available based on city guidelines. You work hard, so you deserve to play hard. Book your VIP weekend now at sportsandentertainmenttravel.com and make sure to let them know that you heard about it from Fast Cars, Fast Girls.
Well, I guess it's time to discuss some of our off-track activities.
Sure. You can run through those real quick.
So we spent a lot of time with the Pain Tour, who we love. Obviously, we spent a lot of time with them, period.
Yeah.
Sorry if you heard that sound. There was a fly in my house, and my kitten was going nuts for it, so I had to murder it. I can't. She's losing her mind. It had to die.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got to see our Pennsylvania friends / Florida friends / Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey. I don't know. They're from everywhere.
South Georgia,
our Pain Tour
South Carolina. I don't know. Yeah.
There we go. South Carolina. Yep. But yeah, Kentucky. So yeah, so we had a great weekend with friends, as we do every weekend for the 500.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of photos to post because the Pain Tour has a no social media policy, but we do have some photos.
A few were approved and deemed okay.
That is true. And there were a few times that we were like, if you don't want to be on social media, get the fuck out of the background of this photo.
Yeah, we gave a warning.
We sure did. We did. We also, I had decorated my mom's house, and I had gone with the theme of classy, which is not normally my theme, for the, Festival of Homes, 500, the Spectacle of Homes.
Yeah, whatever they're calling it.
Yep, the 500 Spectacle of Homes, and my mom participated in that, as did Beth, even though she's way out in Avon. And so I decorated, and like I said, I went with the theme of classy, which normally my thing is extra. And those of you who have ever seen us camp at a race, you know that that's our theme.
You're all are like, what? You guys have never been classy in your life. True.
Right? I was just for a short period of time. We can clean up nice when we need to.
We can. We just don't want to.
We just don't want to. And so then we decided, you know what? Now that we're on the official parade route, let's go ahead and make it extra. And so big shout out to Teresa and Chick, your parents, who came over and first off acquired new flamingos and then really decorated the yard to the nines. And the paint tour helped. We had people climbing out on the porch roof, hanging flags.
We had our own
banners.
Spider-Man.
We did. Our Natter Days flag got hung at my mom's house. She permanently has up the American flag and the Fast Cars, Fast Girls flag. But we hung up many more flags in addition and blew up our flamingos, the ones that go on top of the golf cart, and borrowed our neighbor's side yard.
Just a thing.
It was a whole thing. I mean, everybody thinks that side yard is our yard anyway, so we just commandeered it.
They were cool.
Right, we probably had almost exactly 33 people there, actually.
I know there was a moment where I was about to count. I was like, I bet we have 33. And then I was like, what are you going to do with that? These people are all hungover severely. Don't make them do anything else.
Right. Yeah, because I think there were 27 in the paint tour. And then your parents, my mom, me and you. Oh, and then neighbor Donna. So, yeah, 33.
I think we hit 33, not counting the weird clown.
We hit 33 exactly. We were not an official stop, but because there is a stop sign at the intersection, we got to see Connor Daly, who looked over and was like gave us like the finger guns and like hollered at us because it was just beautiful.
You just had to with that house. If you saw that house, you need to go back. That house has definitely got something going on.
Right, like I don't know much about them, but I know they look fun.
I know they like to party.
I know they like to party. Why do you need to work the TV and the stereo at the same time? Because I like to party.
I like to party.
And then right after that, last year's winner to Kumasato. So
drove right past.
That was very cool.
So we became our own parade at that point.
We really did.
Yeah,
we really did. Oh, and Terry, one of the guys of the paint tour, is featured in the IndyCar commercial because Sato was sitting in his seat last year, and so he got to participate in the drivers' meeting, and it was a whole thing. And
it was
they
really
made
cool. It turns out they did that on purpose. So like all the drivers who like sat in their seats, they somehow worked it so those people, if they were there, could like come to that, and they all were like, "Hey, I sat in your seat," and I was like, "That's really nice."
Very cool. And like Scott Dixon, the person's seat that he sat in, he said next year we'll have a beer together, and so he brought her a cooler, a Coors Light.
Beer. Like that's so cute.
I love it. What a great idea. So kudos to the IndyCar marketing team that thought that up. That was
very
idea.
Nice.
Oh, and just super cool.
Again, it was what needed to happen after last year, especially with everybody like, okay, like we're not going to come, in 2020, but we can't wait to be there in 2021. And this was really a way to say like, hey, thank you. Like, here's your thank you. We appreciate it. Yes. And that's what you should do.
Yeah.
That's why our sport's growing.
That is where, it's our drivers are so accessible, and it's just, like they know it they know it more than anybody that the energy and the vibe of a racetrack is 100% changed with fans.
Oh yeah.
And, and how, and even Mike Ford, Pagano spotter talked about how quiet it was last year, not having fans on the stands. The fact that we had so many moments where fans were literally so loud that you couldn't hear the PA announcer if you wanted to.
Yeah, like you couldn't even, whole thing.
Yeah, I had headphones on 95% of the race, and I could still hear the crowd over. I've got the volume all the way up, and I could still hear the crowd around me. It was absolutely
just great.
What we needed. Yeah, just awesome. I hope they keep some of the, even once, whenever we go back to regular parades, that reverse parade, I hope they do that on Saturday afternoons because that's pretty cool.
That's really cool. And like it doesn't take that much for them to do. It's something that doesn't take a lot. Because it really doesn't. You just, you have a driver or two stop by, and maybe not the full field, but maybe a couple. And there you go. It's still a thing. It gets the community involved. And that's, this community already embraces it. But throw a bone every now and then. They'll embrace it even more.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Speedway pretty much is, pretty supportive of the race. But I really enjoyed this whole spectacle of homes, and that they got all of Indianapolis involved, and they went to, different neighborhoods throughout the city. That was just cool. I think, do the 500 parade, and then you go out and do the reverse parade.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long. It really doesn't.
Yeah, they've got the vehicles, and if you need a driver, I volunteer to roll around in a pace car for the month of May, and I will drive your driver wherever they need to go.
Yeah,
as long as I'm not marching in a band, I don't think I'll hate parades as much. So
yeah, perfection, easy peasy.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, no, that was great at my mom's house. We've started a new tradition for the paint tour.
Yes, because even without it, now we're gonna have brunch at Birds.
Yep, Birdie's brunch on Saturday.
For those of us who live in town, are gonna say, hey, thanks for letting us crash with you guys. Here's some food. We know that you were hungover.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's okay.
Pretty much. Thanks
We're
for letting us party with
Midwestern.
you guys.
We got to feed people.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to move biscuits and gravy to Saturday.
I think that's a smart idea.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just do a double batch because we can make biscuits fresh on Sunday, and it heats up really easily.
Oh, yeah. It's really just the biscuits you got to think about. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that we're going to have to, it's going to start a new tradition in the Meyer household as well.
That's okay. That's what this is all about.
It is. It is. Things change and grow. So, yeah. I couldn't have been happier with this weekend. It was
just an amazing weekend.
It was. My soul needed this. It was great to see friends, great to see fast cars. Just every part of it, I felt like could not have been better.
Exactly. It was one of those, I think we're repeating ourselves, but it's just a great weekend. It was just perfect. It was picture perfect.
It was.
Maybe even Penske perfect.
Oh, I don't believe for a second we were Penske perfect.
Well, I just meant the weekend as a whole.
Oh.
Oh, God, okay, no, please.
No.
No.
But no, yeah. I would dare to agree with that we were Penske perfect on the weekend as a whole. And it's funny because I always get excited about the race and I say it's going to be a good year. And Mom says every time, she's like, you say that every year. And I'm like, but I mean it every year for different reasons. It's going to be a good year. And sometimes I get too excited and then the year doesn't live up to it, even though it's always a good year. Sometimes you get too excited for things. And I was a little worried that I was too hyped for this year. I was
no
not.
Worries about that.
It far exceeded all of my expectations. Couldn't imagine any better. I hope that every race fan felt the same way and had a stellar weekend. Of course, always a big shout out to our yellow shirts, who we just love. Honestly, they're one of the things that makes the month of May just fan-fucking-tastic.
That's 100% true. 100%.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I think we saw Doug Bowles maybe one time this entire month, which is unusual for us.
Yeah, it was not a lot of Doug sightings. That is weird for us.
Yeah, Did he put a tracker on us that we're unaware of? Was there a tracker on our credentials?
I feel like that was what happened.
We had a technological cowbell.
They're like, hey, they're on the move. And Doug's like, I got to go. No, just kidding.
I got to go. They're in the plaza. I'm out. I'm in the pagoda.
I'm out. I'm in the pagoda. He's like a ninja.
Oh.
All right.
So, all right. Well, I
think it's time.
I think it's time. Also, I think this might be one of the shortest Indy 500 recordings we've done. Even though I know we're like creeping up
we're
on an
like
hour
at
and a half.
I don't know. I think last year's was pretty quick.
Well, that's because we weren't there in person. Last year's doesn't even count.
But yeah.
Maybe that's what they thought, and that's why they didn't give Sato his own lap.
That's true. They were like, it doesn't actually count. It's like a weird.
Doesn't even count.
Year.
No, just no, sir. Sir, this is an Applebee's.
Sure, this is an Applebee's.
Oh. All right. Well, what's your white flag?
I'm sad this weekend is over. Thank goodness, though, that we actually have a weekend off between races. Good for, actually, probably the teams are more excited about that than me. So that's it. I'm sad the weekend is over.
I'm pretty damn excited.
Well, I mean, I am too, but I think the teams are much more.
Much more excited than we are, yeah.
Yeah, that's my white flag. How about you?
I agree. It's nice that we kind of have a little breathing room. Like you said, yeah, I'm sure the teams are much more excited than we are, although we are also very excited because trying to cram in the Indy 500 and a race preview, that's too much stuff. My white flag, it was just good to be around people.
Yeah, that's true.
And even though it was limited capacity, it was.
It didn't feel like it.
It did not feel like it. We sit in the stands every year. Obviously, if you were a GA lawn/ground/mounds person, it would feel very different. But since we typically sit in the grandstands, it felt very much like a regular year. And I think it was kind of it was like the first thing that we've done that felt normal again to me.
Yes, very much so. I agree with all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just really nice to have that sense of normalcy and the sense of like, okay, we're getting through this, we're getting over this, like we're gonna be all right. And I loved that they had vaccines at the track pretty much every day that you could get if you wanted. I loved that. I have not gotten my vaccine yet, which I think most of our listeners know, for medical reasons. For medical reasons. Not like I'm not a science believer. The vaccine is awesome. You all should get it, please. There's mask it or casket. There's also vax it or casket. But there you go. Right. Yeah. But I enjoyed also that they made special accommodations since I didn't have the vaccine. Like you had to show your proof to get your wristband for the day. And I got COVID tested every day that I wanted to go into the garages or the pits. I had to get COVID tested. And I love that. I felt like that was a very responsible choice and a very responsible decision by IMF. And honestly, it gave me better peace of mind since I sometimes still work with COVID patients. And it was a great, thing. Yeah. And it was set up very well. The organization of that testing center and all that business, they did a great job with that. And I really just have no complaints at all. Yeah. Which is surprising for me. I usually have at least one thing to bitch about. But yeah, it was just a great weekend. I could go on and on, but I won't. But yeah, great friends, great experience at the track, great experience off the track, and it felt good to be back. Yeah. Felt really good to be back.
I think we wave it.
I think so. Fine. Let's wave the checkers. It is time. All right. Well, thanks for listening.
Bye.